There's an emerging trend in the world of CBD right now, and that is Delta-8. And as with anything new, I know many people like you have tons of questions regarding this new substance. And I can't blame you, you'll be right and wise to do so. So in this video, I'll be answering some of your most burning and frequently asked questions about Delta-8. Welcome to Envious Organics. My name is J-Rob, and this channel is dedicated to CBD and other health-related topics. But I want to make it clear that I am not a medical professional, and the contents of this video are purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. Also, this video is a continuation of another video discussing everything you need to know about Delta-8. So if you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you check it out first. Because for this video, we'll be focusing on answering questions that we haven't discussed in the previous one. So let's get it started. Will Delta-8 get you high? Yes. Delta-8 can get you high, but it's a lot milder than the high Delta-9 THC gives. But you have to also keep in mind that we have different tolerance levels when it comes to whatever substance we ingest. Depends on our body types, right? Not to mention, Delta-8 products also come with a different potency. Therefore, we advise that you start off with the lower dosage than you think necessary. As a matter of fact, just start with the lowest dosage and then you can just amp it up from there. Is Delta-8 addictive? Even though Delta-8 is not as potent and as dangerous as other substances like Delta-9 found in marijuana, there is still a risk of dependency due to its psychoactive nature. Therefore, if you have a history of substance abuse, we will highly discourage you from trying Delta-8. Though it's legal and it's less risky than other addictive substances, the fact of the matter is, it's still a form of THC. Another common question we receive is if Delta-8 is legal. The short answer to this is it depends. As per the Farm Bill, hemp as well as its derivatives are legal on a federal level, but it may not be legal in some specific states. So as long as the product is hemp-derived, meaning the THC concentration is less than 0.3%, it is legal federally. This of course includes Delta-8. I think it's also worth noting that there was a debate whether synthetic substances such as hemp-derived Delta-8 should qualify as legal hemp products. You'd be happy to know that the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that Delta-8 is federally legal under the Farm Bill's definition. Again, this ruling only applies to federal law, and your specific state might have a different rule regarding this topic. At the time of this recording, 12 states banned Delta-8, and these states are Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New York, Rhode Island, and Utah. So the next question, is Delta-8 safe? The answer is that Delta-8 is generally safe. However, this is where buying from reputable companies that have their product tested by a third party comes into play. One of the reasons for that is mislabeling. Back in 2021, CBD Oracle, a cannabis consumer research company, commissioned FESA labs to analyze a total of 51 different Delta-8 products for cannabinoid levels. They found that about 77% of the products had less Delta-8 than advertised. But the worst part is that some products even had THC concentrations greater than 0.3%. This is not only illegal but also potentially dangerous. Nevertheless, Delta-8 products should be safe as long as the company you're buying from is not mislabeling their products and follows the regulations pertaining to hemp-derived products. So what about medical tests? Is it possible that you'll fail a drug test if you're consuming Delta-8 products? Unfortunately, most drug tests can't distinguish Delta-8 from Delta-9 THC. So even if you didn't smoke weed or consume products with high levels of THC, you might still get a false positive report. Thus, we recommend avoiding Delta-8 products if you have a drug test coming up. This next question is kind of tied to the previous one. How long does Delta-8 stay in the body? Delta-8's effect usually lasts for about 5 hours, but this doesn't mean that the compound is completely out of your system within that time frame. In reality, the THC metabolites can still be detected within your system for up to 90 days, depending on the type of drug test. Here are some of our estimates. A saliva test may be able to detect THC from within your system within 1 to 29 days, depending on your daily intake. If you're an occasional user of Delta-8, the saliva test may be able to detect THC within 1 to 3 days. But if you use it regularly, the test can detect THC for up to 29 days. The saliva test is fairly common, especially for employment. If you regularly intake Delta-8 products, blood tests may detect the presence of THC within your system up to 25 days. Although a blood test is not as common as the saliva test, it is fair to assume that you will undergo a blood test if you're newly employed. Now, a urine test may also be able to detect the presence of THC within your system for up to 30 days or more, depending on your daily intake. If you take in Delta-8 occasionally, like 1 to 3 times a week, the urine test may be able to detect the THC for up to 1 to 3 days. If you take it daily, then it's extended by around 10 to 15 days. And if you take Delta-8 multiple times a day, then it may take around 30 days or more for the metabolites to leave your system completely. A urine test is the most common way to detect THC and is used in various ways, from employment to random tests. A hair follicle test can detect THC for up to 3 months or more. During its circulation, Delta-8 can sometimes get to your hair, and as you know, hair grows slowly and therefore making it difficult for the trace amount of Delta-8 to leave your body. A hair follicle test is not usually required, but it's also a difficult test to pass. We created a dedicated video discussing how to get rid of Delta-8 metabolites from your system faster. Make sure to check it out if you have an upcoming test, or just in general if you're worried that you might get a false positive result. So taking Delta-8 products, especially when combined with CBD, can give excellent benefits. So yes, you can take it daily. However, there are some exceptions when it's not a good idea to take it. So here are the few circumstances where we don't recommend taking in Delta-8 products. 1, if you're using prescribed medications such as diuretics, blood pressure or heart medications, anti-epileptic medications, or something similar. If you're unsure, you should ask your doctor to see if one or more of your medications can conflict with THC. 2, if you're planning to go for a drive. Due to the psychoactive effect of Delta-8, it may affect your driving ability and increase your road risk. 3, during pregnancy and breastfeeding, there are still a lot of unknowns when it comes to the possible side effects of Delta-8. And since Delta is still a form of THC, albeit lesser. According to the FDA, THC may affect fetal brain development during pregnancy and may cause premature birth or stillbirth. And for breastfeeding, the FDA warns that your breast milk may contain THC for up to 6 days after intake. The next question is, how many should I take in a day? Delta-8 products are generally safe as long as you purchase them from a brand that strictly follows the regulations pertaining to hemp-derived products. With that said, each one of us has different tolerances for different substances. So if you're just starting out, we will recommend starting with the lowest doses and increasing it from there. First, let us iterate that the scientific studies on Delta-8 are still in the early stages. So at this point, Delta-8's benefits on sleep are still anecdotal and not yet proven by the scientific communities. But we'll say though that many users reportedly get better sleep after taking in Delta-8 products. We believe that this can be attributed to the relaxing sensation you get after taking the substance. So this next question is more like a common misconception. Does Delta-8 give you energy? Delta-8 affects your endocannabinoid system similar to how CBD works. If you're not familiar, the ECS provides harmony from within your body, and this includes the regulation of energy from within your body. In other words, it may help your body speed up the process of converting food into energy. So unfortunately, Delta-8 does not quite give the same energy boost as, say, a shot of espresso. Instead, it boosts your energy through a combination of energy-giving food such as carbohydrates and water. Plus, some people experience an uplifted mood after taking it, making them mentally energized. Does Delta-8 make you hungry? And the answer to that is yes. Delta-8 can boost your appetite and make you feel hungry because it can affect your endocannabinoid system, similar to how it can affect the energy in your body. The CB1 receptors from the ECS can send signals in relation to affecting your appetite. Hey, and that's pretty much it. If you still have questions about Delta 8, just drop us a comment and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, alright? If you got value out this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help us out with reaching more people like you that's looking for this type of information. Alright, y'all. Till next time. Peace.